High in the heart of the Sierra Nevada, where jagged peaks kiss the sky and crystal-clear lakes mirror the heavens, lies a land that has whispered its secrets for centuries. Mammoth Lakes. A place where every breeze carries the stories of ancient peoples, where the mountains hum with the echoes of time, and where the waters reflect not just the world around them, but the mysteries within. Here, the ordinary becomes extraordinary. A trail is more than a path, a lake more than water, a snowfall more than ice. This is a land that beckons to those who listen, who seek adventure, history, and a touch of the unknown. Welcome to Mammoth Lakes, where every step, every view, and every moment is a journey into a world that feels timeless, enchanted, and alive. Long before the first snow fell on these peaks, long before the echo of pickaxes and mining carts filled the valleys, this land was watched over by those who understood its whispers. The Paiute people called this place home, not merely to live, but to belong to the mountains, the lakes, the rivers, and the hot springs that bubbled like tiny portals to another world. They listened to the wind as it danced through the pines, learned the language of the deer, the bear, and the trout, and walked the trails not as paths to somewhere else, but as sacred journeys in themselves. Legends passed from one generation to the next speak of spirits dwelling in the lakes, of fire-born mountains rising from the earth, and of the hot springs whose warmth was said to heal both body and soul. Some told of a great lake spirit, guarding the waters and testing the hearts of those who approached, while others whispered of shadowy figures that roamed the high ridges, visible only in the first light of dawn. To the Paiute, every rock, every ripple of water, every plume of steam from the earth carried meaning, a story, a warning, or a blessing. Then, in the 19th century, outsiders arrived, drawn by tales of gold and silver hidden beneath the rugged terrain. European settlers carved a new chapter into the land's long history, erecting cabins and mining camps, laying the foundations of what would become Mammoth Town. The clang of the mining tools echoed against the ancient mountains, a sharp contrast to the quiet reverence of the Paiute people, yet somehow the two histories began to intertwine. The lakes continued to shimmer with their ancient mysteries, the mountains stood watch as they had for millennia, and the stories of this land grew richer, weaving together the sacred, the natural, and the human. Even today, if you listen closely, you can hear the whispers of the past. The mountains remember the footsteps of those who came before, the lakes carry the reflections of countless generations, and the hot springs still sing their ancient, bubbling song. Mammoth Lakes is more than a place to visit, it is a living story, one that stretches across centuries, inviting all who enter to step lightly, listen deeply, and feel the magic that endures. Beneath the serene lakes and towering pines lies a story written in fire and stone. Mammoth Mountain and the surrounding peaks are the remnants of a restless earth, born from molten rock that once surged with a raw, untamed energy. Long before humans walked these valleys, the land itself was alive with creation. Lava flows carving new paths, ash clouds painting the skies, and geothermal springs bubbling like the very heartbeat of the planet. Each ridge, each crater, each jagged rock is a page in a book written in fire, telling of the Earth's power and its eternal patience. The hot springs, steaming and mysterious, are more than natural phenomena. They're portals to the hidden rhythms of the world. Steam rises from the earth as if the mountains themselves are breathing, whispering secrets only the attentive ear can hear. Local legend says these springs hold the memory of the land, the energy of ancient eruptions, and even the presence of spirits that linger long after the fire has cooled. To touch the waters is to connect with a story millions of years in the making, a reminder that the earth beneath our feet is alive, speaking in tongues of heat and stone. Even today, Mammoth Lakes is shaped by these ancient forces. Earthquakes tremble through the valleys, reminding all who wander here of the mountain's restless soul. Lava domes rise like sculptures frozen in time, and the landscape, ever-changing yet eternal, hums with the echoes of past eruptions. Hiking these trails is not merely a walk through nature. It is a journey through the fiery heart of the earth itself, a place where geology and legend intertwine, where every boulder, every hot spring, and every slope tells a story of creation, destruction, and renewal. In Mammoth Lakes, the mountains are not silent. They speak of beginnings that predate history, of power that shapes valleys and lakes, and of mysteries that have fascinated every soul lucky enough to wander here. To explore this land is to walk alongside time itself, to feel the pulse of the earth beneath your feet, and to be reminded that even in stillness, the world is never truly at rest. To wander through Mammoth Lakes is to step into a living painting, where every trail, every lake, and every forest whispers an invitation to explore. The paths wind through towering pines and rugged ridges, guiding you not just across the land, but into the very soul of it. Each hike becomes a journey through time, footsteps tracing the trails once walked by the Paiute, by miners, and by the wind itself, which has sculpted the rocks and valleys for centuries. The lakes shimmer like polished mirrors, reflecting the sky, the mountains, and the quiet magic that lingers in the air. Cast a line into the crystal waters, and for a moment, it feels as though the fish rise from another age, carrying with them the stories of these ancient depths. Some say that if you listen carefully, the gentle lapping of the waves is the echo of old voices, the spirits of the land, the whispers of those who once lived here, and the heartbeat of the mountains themselves. And then there is the thrill of the climb, trails that rise and fall with the mountains, where each step brings a new vista, a new revelation. Rainbow Falls cascades like a silver thread, Devil's Postpile stands in stoic silence, and hidden alpine lakes glimmer like secret jewels waiting to be discovered. Here, adventure is not merely a pastime, it is a communion with the land, a way of touching something eternal. Every breath of crisp mountain air, every rustle of leaves, every shimmer of sunlight across the water reminds you that you are part of this story, a fleeting traveler in a world that has been writing itself for millennia. In Mammoth Lakes, outdoor adventure is not just about what you see or do, it is about what you feel. It is about standing in awe of nature's artistry, sensing the quiet pulse of the earth, and understanding that every trail, every lake, and every summit carries the memory of time itself. To explore these lands is to journey into the heart of a place where adventure and mystery intertwine, and where every moment is infused with wonder. Beyond the trails and lakes, Mammoth Lakes holds stories that are whispered rather than shouted, tales of the unseen, the unexplained, and the strangely beautiful. Locals speak of shadowy figures moving through the forests at dawn, of shapes reflected in the still waters that vanish when approached, and of the soft murmur of voices carried on the wind, as if the mountains themselves are speaking in secret. The Paiute people tell of spirits that guard the lakes and the mountains, ancient beings born of fire, water, and stone. Some are said to guide travelers who show respect, while others test the courage of those who venture too far without care. Hot springs bubble not only with warmth, but with stories, the land remembering centuries of use, of ritual, and of quiet reverence. Even in more recent times, miners and settlers claim to witness strange phenomena. Flickering lights on empty ridges, sudden mists rolling through valleys that seemed almost alive, and unexplained sounds echoing across the peaks. These tales have woven themselves into the identity of Mammoth Lakes, giving the land a mystique that draws dreamers and adventurers alike. To walk these trails is to feel the tension between what is seen and unseen, between the known history and the lingering mystery that refuses to be fully explained. Here, every gust of wind and ripple of water carries a story. Every rustle in the forest could be a memory of the past, a lingering presence, or simply the magic of the mountains reminding you that this is a place where reality and legend intertwine. Mammoth Lakes is alive not only in its landscapes, but in its stories, inviting every visitor to listen, wonder, and perhaps, just for a moment, believe. Today, Mammoth Lakes hums with life, a quiet harmony of people and place, where the modern world walks hand in hand with centuries of history and legend. Small galleries and studios showcase the creativity inspired by these mountains, paintings that capture the shifting light across lakes, sculptures that echo the jagged peaks, and music that carries the rhythm of rushing rivers and whispering pines. Art here is more than expression, it is a dialogue with the land itself. Festivals and gatherings bring the community together, celebrating not just the seasons, but the enduring spirit of this place. Locals share stories over warm fires, weaving tales of old legends with personal memories, ensuring that the whispers of the past are never lost. Ski lodges, cozy cafes, and bustling markets reflect a life that honors adventure, nature, and connection, reminding visitors that even in a town shaped by tourists and travelers, the soul of Mammoth Lakes remains deeply rooted. Every encounter, every conversation, every crafted piece of art feels like a thread in a tapestry that spans centuries. Here, modern life does not erase history. It dances with it, celebrating the mountains, lakes, and forests while embracing new stories and new spirits. To walk among the people of Mammoth Lakes is to witness a living tradition, a community that listens to the echoes of the past, cherishes the present, and welcomes the unknown mysteries that continue to shape this enchanted place. Beyond the well-trodden trails and popular lakes, Mammoth Lakes holds secrets that reveal themselves only to those who wander with curiosity and care. There are hidden springs where steam rises like ethereal spirits, alpine lakes tucked between jagged peaks that shimmer with an almost otherworldly light, and quiet meadows where wildflowers bloom in colors so vivid they seem touched by magic. These are places where the ordinary dissolves, leaving only wonder. Hot Creek Geological Site whispers of the Earth's inner fire, its bubbling pools and shifting ground reminding visitors of the power beneath their feet. Off the beaten path, you might stumble upon rock formations that look sculpted by unseen hands, or hear the distant call of wildlife that has roamed these valleys long before humans arrived. Every turn of a trail, every hidden cove, every overlooked vantage point feels like stepping into a secret chapter of the land's story. A place that asks you to pause, to breathe, and to truly see. These hidden gems are not merely destinations, they are invitations to connect with nature, with history, and with the quiet magic that lingers in the spaces between the peaks and lakes. Here, the world slows, and the land opens its heart to those who seek more than what is visible at first glance. To explore these hidden corners of Mammoth Lakes is to step into a world where mystery and beauty exist hand in hand, waiting for the traveler willing to venture just a little farther, listen just a little closer, and believe just a little more. As the day fades and the mountains are bathed in the golden light of dusk, Mammoth Lakes reveals the quiet truth of its magic. It is a place where time feels fluid, where the past, present, and future converge in the whisper of the wind, the shimmer of the lakes, and the silent watch of the peaks. Every footstep along the trails carries echoes of those who came before, from the Paiute who listened to the land's secrets, to miners and settlers who carved their stories into the valleys, to the adventurers who continue to wander here today. The lakes, still and reflective, mirror not only the surrounding mountains but the deeper currents of wonder and curiosity that draw people here. The forests, alive with the rustle of unseen creatures, invite contemplation, reminding every visitor that the world is larger, older, and more mysterious than we often allow ourselves to imagine. In these moments, Mammoth Lakes does more than captivate the eye. It stirs the soul, awakening a sense of reverence, awe, and connection. Here, beauty and mystery exist in every ripple of water, every ray of sunlight breaking through the pines, every shadow cast by the towering peaks. To experience Mammoth Lakes is to be reminded that the world is a living story, that nature holds its own magic, and that for those who truly listen, every trail, lake, and mountain has a lesson to teach. It is a place that stays with you long after you leave, a quiet companion in memory and imagination, calling you back to its endless wonder. Mammoth Lakes is more than a destination, it is a journey, a story, and a memory etched into the heart of the Sierra Nevada. Its mountains, lakes, and forests invite you to wander, to wonder, and to discover the mysteries that have enchanted generations. And now, it invites you, too, to step into its story. If you felt even a spark of its magic, join us on more journeys into the hidden, the mystical, and the timeless corners of our world. Subscribe, follow, and let the adventure continue, because the stories of places like Mammoth Lakes are endless, waiting for those willing to listen, explore, and believe.